Today, we have something truly riveting for you. But before we dive in, I must warn you, this is not your average true crime story. Imagine this, a scenic neighborhood shattered by the unthinkable. An entire family wiped out. Now, one question echoes through the halls of history. What really happened on that fateful day? Hi guys, and welcome back to Crimeco, where we break down some of the most gruesome true crime cases from all over the world, giving you the most up-to-date detailed information. If that sounds like something you are interested in, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a like. A like from you really helps the channel. Thank you. Now let's dive in. The Crawford family is an epitome of an idyllic suburban life, nestled in the peaceful neighborhood of Glenroy. Filled with happiness, care, and love, they seemed like any other ordinary family, living out their dreams together. Elmer Crawford, a dedicated electrician, provided for his family while his wife, Therese, devoted herself to being a loving mother. Together, they raised their three beautiful children, Catherine, James, and Karen, with hope and aspirations for the future. However, beneath the facade of blissful domesticity, darkness lurked in the shadows, and tragedy would soon strike. In an inexplicable turn of events, Elmer Crawford committed an unimaginable act that would shatter the lives of those he held closest to his heart. The harmony and joy that once filled the Crawford household would be replaced by horror and despair, as the family became entangled in a chilling web of secrets and malevolence. In the cold winter darkness of July 1, 1970, Elmer Crawford executed his chilling plan. As his family slept, he wielded a bizarre and deadly electrocution device he had fashioned using a 15-meter electrical cord with alligator clips attached. First, he targeted his wife, Therese, attaching the alligator clips to her ears while she slept, before delivering a fatal electric shock. The horrifying act continued as Elmer turned his attention to his innocent children. Catherine, aged 13, and James, aged 8, suffered a brutal and fatal beating from a sharp weapon, likely a hammer, before being electrocuted like their mother. The youngest, 6-year-old Karen, was spared the electric shock but endured a violent and fatal beating, meeting her end at the hands of the same hammer. Once the unthinkable deed was done, Elmer carefully wrapped their lifeless bodies in blankets, keeping them clad in their pajamas. He removed the back seat of the family's white 1956 Holden sedan, creating space to transport the tragic cargo. In the eerie silence of the night, Elmer drove 200 kilometers, about 120 miles, to the haunting cliffs of Loch Ard Gorge in Port Campbell, Victoria. His plan was to stage the tragedy as a murder-suicide committed by Therese. Elmer carefully placed his wife's body in the driver's seat and attached a hose from the exhaust to the interior of the car. His intent was to make it appear as though she had taken her own life after unaliving their children. He even laid a stone pathway across a drainage ditch in front of the vehicle to aid its movement. However, fate intervened, and the car became stuck on a ledge just above the churning sea, thwarting Elmer's plan for a seamless vanishing act. The Holden was discovered by curious tourists the following day, precariously perched on the cliff, revealing the grisly scene inside. Meanwhile, back at the Crawford home in Glenroy, the police had arrived to investigate the family's disappearance. Elmer was present in the house, trying to clean up the evidence of his heinous crimes when the officers knocked on the door. He managed to evade them, disappearing without a trace, leaving his grisly act shrouded in mystery. The search for Elmer Crawford began, but despite extensive efforts and countless leads, he remained elusive. Over the years, there have been alleged sightings, including one in Bunbury, Western Australia, in 1994. However, none of these sightings have resulted in his capture. The Crawford family elimination remains one of Australia's most notorious unsolved cases, leaving a haunting legacy of horror and heartache. The devastating loss of Therese, Catherine, James, and Karen continues to cast a shadow over the Glenroy community, forever etched into the memories of those who knew them. As the chilling case of the Crawford family tragedy unfolded, investigators began delving into the lives of the victims and the enigmatic perpetrator, Elmer Crawford. But before we explore the possible motivations behind this monstrous act, let's take a closer look at Elmer Crawford's life background. Elmer Kyle Crawford was born in May 1930 in Canada. He grew up with his grandparents in Derry, Northern Ireland, and later decided to start a new life in Australia, emigrating there in 1951 at the age of 22. Over the years, he established himself as an electrician and worked for the Victoria Racing Club at Flemington Racecourse since the mid-1950s. His life seemed to be ordinary to those around him. Coworkers at the racing club knew him as an unremarkable employee, giving no indication that he was capable of such a horrific crime. There were no outward signs of trouble at home either, at least not that they knew of. However, beneath the surface, Elmer Crawford was harboring dark secrets and ulterior motives. In the weeks leading up to the murders, he and his wife, Therese Crawford, prepared new wills. These wills left a considerable fortune to Elmer in the event of his family's death. The timing of these wills raised suspicions, as did the impending arrival of their fourth child and Therese's mental state. It is believed that Therese's pregnancy and her struggle with postnatal depression after their third child's birth may have been factors that triggered the chain of events leading to the brutal killings. Some theories suggest that Crawford wanted Therese to terminate the pregnancy, while others point to potential financial troubles and the theft of goods from the Victoria Racing Club as potential motives. Regardless of the exact motivations, the heinous act committed by Elmer Crawford shattered the lives of an entire family and sent shockwaves through the community. The search for justice began, but as the years passed, Elmer managed to elude capture, leaving investigators perplexed and the victims' loved ones grieving and seeking closure. The haunting mystery surrounding Elmer Crawford's disappearance persists to this day. Sightings and leads have emerged over the years, but none have led to his capture. The case continues to captivate the minds of those who encounter it, as the search for the Mornington Monster, as he came to be known, remains open. In the aftermath of the Crawford family murder, the police initiated an extensive and relentless search for Elmer Crawford, the man who committed such an unfathomable crime. Yet, despite their tireless efforts, he remained elusive, leaving investigators and the public baffled as to his whereabouts. Throughout the years that followed the murders, various sightings and leads surfaced, sparking hope that the Mornington Monster might finally be brought to justice. In 1994, a woman from Bunbury, Western Australia, claimed to have seen Crawford at a local hotel. She was confident that she recognized him, but the man vehemently denied being Elmer Crawford and insisted he was from New Zealand. Although police believed this sighting to be credible, it did not lead to his capture. The case resurfaced in 2008 when a substantial reward of 100,000 Australian dollars was offered for information leading to Crawford's arrest. This reward was a testament to the enduring commitment of law enforcement to apprehend him and provide closure to the victims' families. Yet, despite this renewed incentive, the Mornington Monster remained at large. In a significant development in 2010, the Victoria Police and the FBI cooperated in an attempt to identify a man who had died in 2005 in San Angelo, Texas, United States. They believed this man might be Elmer Crawford, who had managed to live a life on the run under multiple aliases. However, these hopes were dashed when DNA comparison with a Crawford blood relative ruled out any connection to the body in Texas. With the passing years, Elmer Crawford's disappearance became more mysterious and perplexing. The question of whether he was still alive or if he had met his own fate remained unanswered. As investigators and the public continued to grapple with the enigma surrounding the Crawford monster, the case persisted as one of Australia's most haunting unsolved mysteries. The heart-wrenching tragedy of the Crawford family has left deep scars on the community, and the memory of Therese, Catherine, James, and Karen remains etched in the collective consciousness. The inability to bring their killer to justice has only intensified the desire to find closure and resolution. As we approach the conclusion of our investigation into the Crawford family murder, the questions surrounding Elmer Crawford's disappearance continue to perplex us. The case remains a haunting enigma, evoking a sense of frustration and anger at the injustice of an unsolved crime. Over the years, countless theories have emerged, attempting to shed light on the motive behind such a heinous act. Some believe that Crawford's anger at Therese's refusal to terminate her pregnancy led him down a dark path, while others speculate that financial troubles and fear of exposure for his theft were the driving forces. Whatever the reasons may be, the fact remains that a man capable of such cruelty is still at large, seemingly escaping justice. The lack of closure has undoubtedly taken its toll on those who knew and loved the victims, leaving them with an unending sense of grief and loss. In the face of such a horrific crime, the community has come together to remember Therese, Catherine, James, and Karen, cherishing the memories of their lives cut tragically short. The Crawford family murder has left an indelible mark on Australian history, serving as a somber reminder of the darkness that can reside in the human heart. As we conclude our journey through this chilling case, we must acknowledge the tireless efforts of law enforcement and investigators who have worked tirelessly to solve the mystery of this horrific case. Their dedication to seeking justice for the victims is unwavering, and they continue to follow every lead in the hope of one day apprehending Elmer Crawford. For now, the case remains open, awaiting that crucial piece of information that might finally bring the Mornington monster to justice. As we continue to remember and honor the lives of Therese, Catherine, James, and Karen, we must also keep the flame of hope burning that one day the truth will be revealed and closure will be found. In this tale of darkness and despair, we must never forget that it is also a story of resilience and strength in the face of unimaginable tragedy. Let us remember the Crawford family and all the innocent victims who have lost their lives to senseless acts of violence, and let us stand together in the pursuit of justice and peace. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the Crawford family assassination. May their memory live on, and may we never rest until justice is served. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest true crime cases. We appreciate having you as part of our community as we explore the mysteries that continue to fascinate us all. Stay curious and remember, justice may stay hidden in the darkest corner. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.